Welcome back, guys, to the podcast. And today we'll be discussing Vanderpump Rules. And that finale was the worst thing I've ever watched, pretty much. First of all, Lala and Sheena, I don't know what type of friends you guys are classifying yourself to be. And if you are supposed to be friends with this person, I don't know how that trumps your job. So you pretty much prefer jeopardizing a friendship over making good TV. This was the worst finale I've ever seen. And the fact that they kept hyping up this finale to make it seem as if it's going to be the best thing since last year's finale made it even 10 times worse for me at this point. Um, I'd rate this episode probably a 5. It was not what I thought they think it was given, and it was just to me borderline bullshit. Um, we started the episode where we saw Brock and Sheena. He was asking her how she felt about the conversation she had with Sandoval. And this is where we got Brock, who says that Ariana does not reach out and that Tom has been the most caring friend of the group. And this is where the episode started to be like all of a sudden everybody's on Tom's side and Ariana is the problem. Sheena doesn't agree with him, of course, because she still feels like if she decides to agree with him, then she's have the whole entire internet under her comment section. And she checks her comments. Sheena then says that Ariana is always the one who doesn't show up but always wants to be invited, which, like, I don't get how it is that you're saying you have this girl's back, you're team Ariana, and whatever it is, and it's like you are saying these stuff about her behind her back, and even sometimes in front of her. Like, you're talking about stuff that she does not want to hear, and you're just saying it because, again, it's all about Sheena. We got to the bar where we saw that Lala started to grill Dan, which is Ariana's new boyfriend. And she starts to says that she'll be damned if anybody comes in the group and be another asshole. And I don't really think that's the situation. I think that she feels like, how did Ariana move on so quickly when she was in her shitty relationship that she put herself in, and she could not move on and find anybody else, and she did not have anybody or the world rallying around her. And how is it that she found someone so quickly? So you are trying to embarrass this man on national television by asking him questions, hoping that he screws up so you can say, aha. And it was the same thing she did with Brock when Brock first came on the show. She brought up his situation with his kids, not saying what he did with his kids are right, but the fact that she felt like she needs to be the spokesperson to bring this to the forefront is what's wrong with Lala at this point. We see where James decides to ask Dan what does he think of Sandoval. He says, well, he knows what he did to Ariana, but he doesn't really have any thoughts about pretty much Sandoval. Sheena then decides to tell Ariana again about her conversation with Sandoval and how she thinks that she is, she's seeing into his soul. Like, she's seeing like a little crack into his soul. And this has been the same thing that Sheena has been doing for the entire season. She keeps on bringing up how she and Sandoval has spoken, and she thinks that he's changed, and she thinks that is this. Like, you're telling Ariana she needs to get over it and accept him back in her life. Like, in what world do you tell someone that they need to get over their ex and what they did to them in a couple months and accept them back in their life? Like, it's just ridiculous to me. We got where we saw Brock and Katie then decided to get into it because we had Brock now being the voice of supposed reason, where he has not even been in the group or been at the school for that long, but yet he acts as if he knows everything that's going on, and he pretty much feels like he knows what to say and what not to say, and who should forgive and who should not forgive. And of course, we got Katie get into it because she does not like Sandoval, and she's clearly seeing the same bullshit narrative being pushed the entire season, where all of a sudden everybody is trying to accept Sandoval. But before, when it just happened, no one had no problems profiting in off of it. No one had problems going on a podcast talking about it week after week after week after week after week. No one had problems making merchandise, send it to Daryl, or it's everything is all about Vanderpump, whatever. No one had problems making money off of these merchandises, using it to purchase their homes, everything like that, and speaking how negatively everything about under the sun about Sandoval. But the minute that we come to filming, it's like, oh no, Ariana, what do you mean you don't want to film with your ex? What do you mean that you are not over it? Why are you still so angry? But we had Lala, who her situation with her ex, where she came on and dictate to persons that no one should hang or speak of them. And where is the same energy? Is because no one rallied around you? And Lala, the reason why no one rallied around you when the situation with Randall went down is because you have always been a mean girl. You have always not be a people's people. I wouldn't even say a girl's girl. You're not even a people's people. And no one felt sorry for you when this happened to you. So what did you expect? The same sentiment that's happening to Ariana. You expected persons were going to literally rally around you and give you opportunities because you slept with a married man that you knew was married, and you hid it from everybody acting like he was not married, and then you turn around, got engaged to this man, and then had a child with this man, which is a good thing, I guess, that came out of that relationship. And now you're acting as if like person should have rallied around you when all of this hit the fan. Why? So now you're upset at Ariana, who she did not want to be a part of the show in the beginning, hence why, as you love to put it, she's always in the background. So this is why she is getting all of these sympathy and all of these opportunities, because she was not always in everybody's face like you are, where you come off as a villain. So at what world, or in what world, when something happens to the villain, the world rallies around the villain? And you love to play into that character, so I don't see what were you expecting to come out of you basically being a bitch for how many seasons, and then expected that persons were going to support you when the situation with your ex went down. Sandoval says he had a conversation with Sheena. It was good, and then she told him to apologize for the comments he made. We spoke about this last week. I don't believe that if someone has to tell you to apologize about something, it's not coming from a sincere or genuine place. So clearly, he's just, as we saw, playing it up for the cameras. And yeah, we got to Kyle Chan's events, and we saw where James tells Ali that, you know, he's trying to make her his priority because he always spoke about the dog being his priority. So he's going to make Ali his priority, and she says when she's ready for marriage, she would like it to be with him. So at least they have reached a area in their relationship than when they were speaking about it originally, and she seemed as if like she doesn't really think about marriage, nor does she think about having kids. Joe then decides to go over to the girls, and this is Schwartz doing, to go over to the girls, apologize to Katie and ask her if she, and then this did not went well for Joe. And the fact that Joe already has anxiety problems, I don't know why would you go over to the group of girls to have a conversation. And you're lucky Lala is pretty much riding the fence this day because luckily she was there to be back and forth either with Katie or with you. But before, I'm sorry, I don't know why would you go over there to have this conversation with her? Like, what was the point of that? And then she's then asking Katie if Katie owe her an apology. For what? Joe then decides to say that she was couch surfing and that she needs to let Tom go. And I'm like, how is it that you're coming over here to apologize, but then you're basically at the same time telling her to let the guy go, as if like she's pretty much holding on to him and doesn't want him to. Like, in what world are you living in? Then Katie then says she doesn't want peace with Joe. I'm hoping that she takes that. But we see at the reunion where, of course, it's a reunion, but still, we see at the reunion where she seems like she wants peace, but Katie doesn't want peace. And I just wish persons in life will just understand. If someone does not want to deal with someone or want to remove themselves from someone, that's their own prerogative if they decide they don't want to hang with someone or be around someone. It doesn't always have to mean beef or drama or anything. Just let that person choose, make their own decisions and decide if this is what they want to do. What is it to you, or who is it to you, why you think you should dictate to someone how they should react and operate? But then the same persons that tell people how to operate would not like when someone tells them how to operate in a situation. So why is it that you're now letting it be that everybody should move this certain way when it comes on to this certain situation? No one is perfect. And if someone decides that they don't want to deal with someone, or if someone hurt them and they just feel like for their mental health that we love to speak about, it is not healthy for them, let that person be. Why are you forcing people onto someone's shorts? We got where we saw Sandoval thanks Brock for sticking up for him with Katie. Of course, he's going to thank anybody that's sticking up for him because that is his whole purpose this season, to get people on his side and turn against Ariana. Tom decided to walk over to introduce himself to Dan while Ariana was in her phone, ignoring the shit out of him. And then this is where we saw, Dan being a mature man. He acknowledged, he says he's whatever, and keep it moving. But I'm sure Tom wanted some other reaction so he could, have that little back and forth and kind of, as we saw in the hot mic session at the end where he felt like, well, she leaving made him look good. So I see, obviously that was your agenda the entire season, to push her to the limits. So you come off as the victim now and she's now the villain. Sheena then tells Ariana that she's seeing that genuine side of Sandoval. And this is the point with Sheena. Like, every time you have a conversation with Ariana, it's always about Sandoval and how you're seeing what person. I'm sure when she and Shay had her divorce, she would not want her friend to, every time they have a conversation, it's always talking about how your ex is doing better and he's this and he's that, when this person did such a dramatic shit to her. For how many months? It was like a one-time fling. It wasn't like they just did something. They'd been doing this shit for 7 months around behind her back, and then you're sitting here every chance you get bringing up this person and acting like he's now a Christian and he's now changed and he's saved. Ariana told Sheena not to talk about Sandoval's growth to her, which finally, because it seems like it doesn't click in Sheena's head that she doesn't want to hear about this. It seems like the facial expression that Ariana is giving her doesn't let her know that she doesn't want to hear about this. And then you're basically blaming this girl for reacting a way when she doesn't want to hear about it. Like, she should listen to you. Because she's your diary, so she should listen to what you're saying. Sheena says she doesn't want to lose her friendship with Ariana. Ariana told her that she's not going to lose her friendship. Yes, she did I don't know what the producers were trying to prove, but yes, she said that anybody who decided to be friends with him or be mutual friends with him, she wants no parts of them. But clearly, she gives Sheena multiple chances after chances, but Sheena, for some god reason, just wants it to be said on camera where she said, sure, go ahead and be friends with him, be best of friends with him, and I would not mind. We can still be our same friendly person. Like, I don't know what she keeps trying to get from this conversation differently. Sandoval then decides to walk over. And I'm sure the producers cued him to do that. Or he just did it upon himself because, he's just very all over the place. She decided to walk off because, she ain't going to do this, especially they know that they're filming the finale. She ain't going to do no. They have been doing this for the entire season, trying to get the two of them to speak. Now we are filming the finale. I know I'm having a conversation with my friend, and you decided to walk into the conversation like you're trying to get a reaction for the final episode of the season. Sandoval, Sheena then decides to ask Tom what does she mean to him, and because she wants to know if it's just for TV or he actually wants to work on the friendship. And then she decided to walk off with her Oscar-winning performance by saying that please do not make me look like an idiot. Sandoval then starts to fuss and throw a tantrum because Ariana doesn't want to give him the time of day. And this is where we saw where he says that if she doesn't want to film with her ex, then get off the show. Why? Why don't you get off the show? Like, Why is it she needs to leave the show? What is wrong if she feels like she doesn't want to be, she don't want to have a conversation with you? We have seen throughout the entire season where she literally had multiple group occasions and you were in the room and she just ignored your ass and you tried to engage her in a conversation and we saw where anger came out of it. So why is it that she needs to leave the show because she just does not want to speak to you? It's not like she's not speaking to the group. It's not like she's not doing any sort of group meetings or meetups when you're there. She's literally there. She's just ignoring your ass. Why does she need to leave the show? I don't get it. Then we got where Lala decided to give her Oscar-winning performance by saying that this happened to her and now she feels like she's Beyonce. I don't think Ariana feels like she's Beyonce. Y'all make her feel like she's Beyonce, and then because y'all did that and you see the opportunities arriving to her, now y'all have a problem because y'all are not getting those same opportunities anymore, or you can't profit anymore off of this scandal, and she's still winning and y'all are not still winning. So now all of a sudden she's acting like she's God or she's Beyonce, and I don't get that entitlement behavior from this situation. I don't know where they get this entitlement from. Why is it that she's getting opportunities, so what, she should just turn them down so you guys can feel better? So she should stay broke like all of y'all? She's getting opportunities, so in order for not to make you guys feel bad or feel like she's Beyonce or act like she's God, she should turn them down, stay broke, so she can hang with y'all. We're not making money, right? Make it make sense. But I'm glad this show is on a pause. I hope they figure this shit out for the next season. We will see what they bring. But so far, Ariana is winning. And I think that's what makes them hurt. But let me know, guys, in the comment section what were your thoughts on the episode. I will see you next week when we recap The Valley. And see ya. Bye.